Hello everyone. So today we are going to see how to load these volume settings into the game. So and also how to implement this reset to default and requesters when I try to go to another panel without applying the changes. So for example, if I set the sound to 0, master volume to 0, and try to go to another option, here I get this, do you want to apply the change settings requester, and if I press no, volumes are returned to normal. And here if I make it 100% and try to go back, if I press yes, that settings will be kept, and if I go back, those changes are there. So for example, let me set the master volume to 0, apply, and go back, and when I go here, it's there. Now let me completely stop the game and play again. Now as you can see here, the sound is not there, so the changed settings are restored. And similarly it works for all of these other options. So let's see. And also if I set reset to default, the sounds is set back to normal values. Alright, so let's see how to do those things today. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support. Right, so last time we implemented this save audio settings options, and today we are going to implement a way to load the audio settings into the game. So okay, let's pick up from that point. So I'm gonna go back to the game instance. Right, and audio settings, loading audio settings is not just about loading the state of this audio option window. It's also we have to actually apply these changed settings into the game as well. So for example, if I set the master volume to 0 in the previous session, in the next time when I load the game, it should be set to 0. Okay, so right, so let me copy these functions. So set sound mix class override that I used to set when I changed the volume with sliders, and I'm going to put this part into the game instance so that we can reuse the same part to reassign the same values in the next session after loading. Right, so in the game instance, here we have the save audio settings function, and I'm going to get some space here and copy those notes. Like this. Then I'm gonna set master volume and music volume SFX. Oh, we need another one for voice. right. Then in the event init, we have this load option. So there is our load options. Let's call load options, and then we will have SV options. Why don't we return it here? It's not necessary, but let's just do it, so that way it looks more clear. Then can apply, save audio settings. We can call save audio settings from here. Let me collapse this part, otherwise it's gonna look messy. Reload audio settings. Right, now here we can access master volume and music volume, SFX, subtitle, voice, audio language, subtitle language, subtitle enabled. Let me align this to left and distribute vertically so it's cleaner. Right. Oh, here this is a mistake. We shouldn't connect SV options here, and as the target we should use self, which is this game instance. Right, it looks like the error of the save game was due to I changed the location of the save game object in previous episode into this save files. I don't know, maybe that's the reason, but so when I delete the save file and play it from the beginning and once saved again, now it works fine. Okay, now the problem we have is here even though I apply these sound settings, it doesn't give any effect. When I start the game, sound is there, but here if I set the master volume to 0 again and load again, still sound is there. So it seems the problem is this applying part doesn't happen in the initialization event. So I'm not sure what the reason is, but when I add a little delay here, let me add a small delay, it works. This delay doesn't. So here when it is like this, and if I go to the game instance and enable debug, you see the progress is stuck here because the game is paused at the moment. But when I continue, you see now the sound is gone because execution continued from that point. So that's not a perfect solution, but I'm going to keep it like this for now to reload the sound. And the next part I want to do is when we go to the audio options, these sliders should adjust according to the values in saved settings. So for that we need another function in the game instance. So in the game instance blueprint interface, I'll add a function get audio settings. Right now here as the output I'm gonna give SV options, actually not audio settings, get options. Yeah, that should be better. Okay, now let's implement this function. Did I compile it? Yeah, get options. Here we have to use this load options macro and return its value. Okay, one more thing. If we already have SV options, a valid reference, I don't think we have to do this check. We can just return this SV options directly. Okay, so now that I have implemented this function, let's go to the audio options, and here before I initialize options, here let's get game instance get options. Oh, master volume can connect here, and music volume can connect here. SFX volume here, voice here. Okay, similarly let me add a reroute node somewhere here. Audio language here, subtitle language here, subtitle enabled level here. Right, now here oh wait, let me set this everything into the middle and apply and go back. Now when I go to the audio settings, everything was as it is, but the volume change is not affected yet. But if I apply, it works. Okay, right, so I just located in our hard survival. When we open the main menu, we set in this set input menu input mode function, here we set the game to pause. So that's why the game does not work as intended. The audio values are not restored as intended. So if I remove this, everything works without any issue. The only problem is we can see the character in the background, but here you see the volume changes are already in effect. If I apply and or close the game and open, you see audio settings are restored. Okay, so right, but that will give us other problems, because for example here the new game mode may not work. So the best thing we can do is we should move the main menu to a different level, or we should prevent the main character spawning in here until we go to game and press either continue or new game. So if I press continue, now no problem, but if I go to the new game, there will be a problem. But I will fix that problem in another episode. And one more thing, here in the audio options, we need to implement reset buttons, or do you want to save the changes requester? We need to enable those two. Right, so for that, the way we have implemented is in the options, here we have this has unapplied changes event, so we have to implement it in the audio options like this. So how? Well, same as before. Alright, here we have the assign callbacks. Let's add the boolean variable changed unapplied changes. By default this will be false, but wait, space, let's set this to true. If any of these callbacks are actually called. Have to do the same for these options as well. Otherwise we will have to implement a function that compares the existing values of each of these sliders against the values we have in the save file. Well, we can actually do that too, but I'm not gonna do it here. So here I simply return unapplied changes. That's it. And yeah, wait, when I apply, finally I'm gonna set unapplied changes to false, and also we need to implement reset event. So here we can use the same initialize. No, Let's implement it differently. Value. Oh, we don't have a function to set the value. No, actually we do. In the same way we did here. Now this is initialized. We need to again give the name as well. Let's add another custom event, set value, the slider, set value, okay, we can use this. Default value is 1, and let's connect the others also to the same node like this. And for the audio language, I think we have override, no, not options, set level. Okay, that should be 0 for all of them. Audio language, subtitle enabled, and subtitle language. Okay, now let's see. Here in the audio it's like this. If I reset, now see, everything is back to normal. Let me change something and try to go back. Now we get, do you want to apply changes? So if I press no, but the audio changes are already applied because we assign them as we change these values to preview. So I think it's okay to let the player know it. Only the graphic, only these language changes are not actually applied. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Here we need to set unapplied changes to false when we in the free construct, because let's say in the second time when we go to the audio options once and then go back after we change some values and decide to go back without applying them, and if I come back, still these unapplied changes will be true, but there will be no changes. So because of that, we will get another requester, unnecessary requester. So we need to keep it like this. Also, let's implement a way to reset the audio values as well when we press no. Not actually reset, we should use the previous values that we have already saved. So for the requester no, this is what we do. We just remove from parent and we go to the menu, go to the main menu and remove from parent. That's what we do. But what we should have done is, if we press yes, we call apply. on you through this BPI options panel. So here I'll add another function, cancel changes. Right, so other options I don't think this will matter, but for the audio option it matters because we change the audio values in real time. So let's implement cancel changes. Oh, we can't just call it, we have to implement it. Cancel changes. Right, now here what we should do is initializing the values. So we can actually do it, not initializing, we have to use the values that we already have in the save file. Right, so we can get game instance, get options, then we can call apply, no, save audio settings. So we have to get master, sorry, from here, master volume, music volume, SFX volume, voice, audio language, subtitle language, and subtitle enabled. Okay, we can just do that. Right, now we have to call the cancel changes, but how can we do it? Here, before we go to main menu, let me add a reroute node here and connect these this way. We can again use this get active option panel and call cancel changes. Right, now let's test. Now we already increased the volumes, and if I'm trying to go back, if I said no, you see volume is again reduced, so everything is back to normal. Okay, all right, and I think we can stop this episode right here. Right, everything is working as intended. Okay, and thanks for watching. So the project files will be available for the download in Patreon page, link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.